So even Democrats admitted that the Joe Biden classified documents defense press conference went terribly wrong. He had his press conference after Robert Hur declined to press charges against Biden for his storing of the classified documents at his home and office. And he said Biden presented himself in interviews with investigators as a sympathetic, well-meaning, elderly man with a poor memory, and detailed multiple instances when the president had trouble recalling specific dates. Just another case of a two-tier justice system. Biden mishandles classified documents, doesn't get charged, and E. Jean Carroll gets $83 million from Trump for faking a story to a woke jury in New York. And Biden's press conference is making everyone say we need to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove Biden from office, because the main reason he wasn't charged was because he was an elderly man, and his defense of himself proved all the Republicans' point that Biden is not fit to be a leader. I mean, look at what Trump put on Truth Social with this massive gaffe that happened.
As you know, initially, the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in. I talked to him. I convinced him to open the gate. I talked to Bibi to open the gate on the Israeli side.
Yeah, that's right. Biden called the president of Egypt the president of Mexico. What a surprise. With all that being said, let's take a look at the most useless press conference ran by Karine Jean-Pierre. The only real reason anyone watches these is because Peter Doocy is one of the few real journalists left in that room, asking actually reasonable questions. And Karine Jean-Pierre is a professional Joe Biden defender that does a far worse job than even Jen Psaki. And that's saying a lot, because Jen Psaki's tactics were only to say, oh, let me circle back to you on that one, or I mean, probably circle jerk back to you. That one might make more sense.
Thank you, Karine. If the special counsel says President Biden has got significant limitations on his memory, then who is helping him run the country?
The President of the United States runs the country. The Commander-in-Chief runs the country.
How can he be trusted with the nuclear codes if, I get that you're saying that nobody in the building would say that he's got an issue with his memory, but just the little part of what we get to see, he's made mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake on camera this week.
So I'm going to be very clear here. The reality is that report, that part of the report, does not live in reality. It just doesn't.
So the special counsel is lying about the president's memory.
It was gratuitous. You heard from Ian Sams, my colleague. It is unacceptable, and it does not live in reality. That is just the facts. And look, it is a closed case. That is what the special counsel said. And what matters is that the president in the last 3 years has delivered on the economy, has delivered on health care, has turned this country around after the last president left us with an economy that was in a tailspin.
You know, I will admit, being a Joe Biden defender is one of the most tough jobs in this country, and that's probably a good experience for Karine Jean-Pierre because, fun fact, she actually failed the MCAT and could get in med school, so I mean, it's not really that much of a surprise. But I think it's hilarious to say that Trump left this economy in a tailspin when the majority of governors in the United States closed their states, gave free handouts to the non-workers, and barely compensated the critical need workers. I'm sure by now most people are curious what Kamala Harris's opinion on Biden's cognitive deficiency is. Oh, you're not? Well, that's too bad. Here's Kamala Harris defending his mental decline by citing his action in the Israel-Gaza Strip. Like, wait, what kind of defense is this?
I'm glad you asked. Listen, I have been privileged and proud to serve as Vice President of the United States with Joe Biden as President of the United States. And what I saw of that report last night, I believe is, as a former prosecutor, the comments that were made by that prosecutor, gratuitous, inaccurate, and inappropriate. October 7th, Israel experienced a horrific attack, and I will tell you, we got the calls, the president and myself, in the hours after that occurred. It was an intense moment for the Commander-in-Chief of the United States of America, and I was in almost every meeting with the president in the hours and days that followed.